Hey, what's up, everybody? The Amazing, bringing you a review, and this time is of the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Drive type special from the movie Surprise Future, which is probably one of my favorite movies for so many reasons, but that's another issue. Anyway, we get into it. This one is a Tamashi Web Shop release, so it's limited. It is P Bandai, all of the good stuff. Blah blah blah. People complain about the aftermarket. Don't care. Anyway, the point is, I'm bringing you this figure because I enjoy Drive. I am an immense fan of Drive, and outside of being my obvious bias because I love the series, this figure looks completely dope. It is a design based off of just Drive, just being based off his future design. What he would look like if he was in the future. Uh, Overall, I'm really feeling the design. I have some gripes about it, but again, we'll get into that. So, as usual, we start off with articulation. Uh, the thing that weirds me out a little is the shoulder pads. They're done a little differently from before, so they don't sit as lush and flush as possible. But you do have a great deal of articulation that allow you the freedom to pretty much do whatever it is you want to do with this figure, which is pretty cool until you want it to just be nice and streamlined like the other Drive figures, and then that's when it gets a little weird for me because while one shoulder sits just fine, the other one doesn't, or to leave little nice gaps where it doesn't look completely flush to me. But that's just me and that's my gripe. It's not something that's for everyone. Pretty sure I'll get over it in like 2 minutes anyway. The head articulation is pretty done well. You can go up, down, you can look left to right. You're always hindered, as usual, by the tire being on the side, so you can't get that full range of motion going this way, as you clearly can see here. You can look up and go upward, but as far as looking down, you see it obviously looks weird. Ab crunch is pretty good. As you can see, he can go down pretty far, even for a guy with a tire on his chest. Leg articulation is done really, really well. This design is what started with Blade in the 2.0s, so you get the main range of articulation from this figure. Toe pivot, it's actually really good. Ankle pivot is a little lacking, but I'm pretty sure I can work that out a little. It's not as far down as the others, especially considering this guy hunches over a lot and does cool martial arts moves, especially, well, I wouldn't say martial arts, but he does some moves that is reminiscent of martial arts. I wouldn't call them martial arts, but he definitely does some cop-like stuff. So as you can see here, the ankle articulation doesn't really bother me simply because he can gravitate to one of his cooler poses that he normally does. As you can see here, it looks really cool. The design just really grew on me. It's like a mix between Wild and Drive Type Next. It's just the colors, for some apparent reason, just completely gravitate towards me, and I love it. The eye visor is really nice. It's a nice, clear yellow design. It looks really good here. Now, if you've collected Drive, this is the last figure that was announced in the line. It's the very last figure in the line. Everybody else has been done so far that they've announced. They showed off Brain, but they're obviously not doing it. So Drive Type Special is the last few. Oh, didn't realize it was blurred out. But Drive Type Special is the last figure on the line, so you won't get any more from the Drive line. So yeah. Now, as far as the wheel goes, it actually does come off like the others, but just like in Drive Type Special, the other wheels can't, unfortunately, they can't fit. Not without a little bit of modding, so they made it so that the newer couple of figures just won't work here. So, I know it sucks, but it's still pretty cool. So, let me make sure I get this in properly, so I don't drive myself crazy later. And now I'm already tripping. See, this is why I kill myself sometimes. Because I know I put it in just now. There we go. Tripping right now. I always get wrapped up in trying to do things properly. So let's see. I'm going to leave him in this cool pose. And one thing I want to show you guys that's really cool about this is that when you buy the older Drive figures or you have them, like let's say you bought Technique or you bought Wild, you have his sword and you have the Dorju. Really cool stuff. And subsequently, when you continue to buy Drive figures, they pretty much give you the hands because, like most Rider series now, you can use the weapon in pretty much any form. So once he uses it, he gets it. So he has hands to hold his sword that they give you, which is really cool. They give you hands, and two of each. They don't give you just one. They give you two hands for each one to hold the Dorju. So you can see you have hands for that as well. Dorju still opens up too. You get normal hands, and this is the hands that he also uses for when he does his cross hand maneuver. So let me just do that real fast. tiny pegs. That's the one thing about Drive that always drove me up a wall. I was always worried about popping pegs because it happened on my first Gavin, but it hasn't happened since. But I always worry about that with the smaller pegs. But since then, they fixed it since the first Gavin. So I never had to worry about it since then. But I still, as usual, stress it because you just don't want it to happen again. So as you can see here, he can do the cool pose. And he also comes with two different sets of relaxed hand. One is obviously for doing this maneuver, and the other one is just actually being relaxed hand. So again, for it being a web shop and some people are going to pay the extra price, you don't get the extra accessories, but you get the fulfillment of getting and finishing the line. So here he is real quick compared to Drive Type Next, who also has similar shoulders, but for some reason it works better on him than it does on mine. But it could just be mine. You know, it could just be mine. So there are those two guys together. And just to finish it off, I'm going to show it with show Dead Heat as well in the line because they're all from the same movie. So they all premiered in this movie. So there's Show Dead Heat, there's Drive Type Special, and there's Drive Type Next. So you have these three guys together. They're from the movie. They look absolutely great. I'm glad to finish the line. It actually means a lot to me to finish this because I'm a big Drive fan. So real quick though. Oh, one thing I forgot to point out. It actually does come with the shift car, the proper shift car. You know, where they spin it around for Drive Type Special. I mean Drive Type Next, sorry. And they mirror it for Drive Type Next. So I'm going to leave him standing up straight so we can do a quick size comparison with other lines. I don't know why I keep zooming out. That's weird. Anyway, here he is next to articulated icons. So they're a great size right now. He's smaller than it, but it works well with the line. So when you beat up ninjas, it'll work really well. Here he is next to a DC Icons Nightwing. Again, these guys are in a really great scale with each other right now, and I'm really feeling that. So I'm very happy with that. Here he is next to a Mezco Punisher, my go-to Mezco to compare it to. He's much smaller for obvious reasons, but again, I've made other things work, so this is not a big deal. If I can do it, so can you guys. Here he is next to Spider-Me, which is a Marvel Legend with a custom Marvel Legends head. So as you can see, in a really good scale, even with Marvel Legends. So really happy with that. I've always loved the SHF stuff. Don't really care for the scaling. It's never been an issue for me. But I know people care about that stuff. And here he is next to, I'm just for shits and giggles. Excuse my language. Sorry about that. Here he is with Rio Venom. Overall, I'm really happy with it. Really happy to finish the line. Hopefully they'll announce something else. But if they don't, I'll be happy with them finishing it here. I'm just really happy with it. I'm a big Drive fan. So I've supported it from day one. And it's really happy to see it come to a close as far as figure-wise. If you have anything you want to add on, go ahead and add it in the comments. Feel good. Wow. I'm just tired. I got a lot going on. Do good. Be good, guys. Make sure you're drinking your water. I'm sorry for spacing out a little. It's actually kind of late here. But hope you guys enjoy the photos at the end. I've been working on some stuff. I'm actually going to try out some new stuff as well. Hopefully I get around to actually doing that. And in the meantime, guys, again, do good and be good. Also, one quick thing I want to point out. Again, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. It does mean a lot to me, especially with the delays and stuff. I know I'm not like other reviewers where I always have some stuff going up. So I kind of just review things as they come in and I get free time. So I appreciate your patience and I appreciate you guys appreciating my work. Also, I promise there will be updates to the website. So, yeah. Thank you again. Later.